Hello again, and I think this will be the last video in this series about character creation, and we're going to talk about leveling up. So we're back with Bob. He's been playing for a while and he's now got enough experience points to level up to level 2. There's two methods that you can achieve this. The best and easiest way is just to go back to the book that you used to do the initial character creation. So we took the cleric from the player's handbook, so make sure we've got that selected and just drag and drop another level of cleric onto the character sheet. We can see that some more stuff's been added. Our hit points have increased by the average amount of hit points, which for a D8 is 5. It's added in the con bonus, and it's added in Bob's dwarven toughness bonus of 1 as well, giving us 19. We can see the hit dice has gone up as well. If we switch over to the Actions tab, we can see that we've now got another spell slot. We've got 3 instead of 2, which means that Bob can now learn another spell. So that would be simply a case of going into spells, filtering out to level 1 and cleric, because he still can only cast level 1 spells, and dragging one in that he hasn't already got. So there we go. And if we go into our preparation mode, we can learn that spell or prepare that spell for the day, and we now have 5 instead of the 4 that we had previously. If we get rid of this, and we let's get rid of this as well. Go to the abilities now, and Bob's got a new thing. He's got Channel Divinity. So if we open that up, it gives us a story about the Channel Divinity that he has. And we can set this up in the Actions tab simply by dragging and dropping into the Actions tab. We see that this has created a new power. Now, we don't want it to just be called power, we actually want it to be called Channel Divinity. So let's type that into the right hand box, tab out of it, and it'll create the power name. And this particular Channel Divinity is actually Turn Undead. So let's do that one. Call it Turn Undead. And we actually, if we go back to the Abilities tab, we've got another one here, Guided Strike. So if we open that up and add that to the Actions tab just by dragging it in, and just rename the right hand box to Channel Divinity. And this gives us a power group with both our Channel Divinities in it, our Guided Strike and our Turn Undead. But you'll notice here that the wisdom saving throw is incorrect. So we need to go back into our little metadata box here by clicking on the magnifying glass and setting the ability to the correct one, which is wisdom. Now we don't want to change the group type here because these are abilities. And there is one other thing that we want to do, and this is the uses down at the bottom here, because you can only use one Channel Divinity per short or long rest. So we click this box, we type in 1, and then we click on this until it says rest. Rest means short rest, once means it's just a one-off, and daily means long rest, basically. So we keep that at rest, and when we close this off now, what we see is we've got a couple of dots here against each of the Channel Divinities. So whenever Bob has used one of his Channel Divinities, let's say he turns some undead, he clicks that, and as you can see, it greys out all of the boxes. So there's no possibility then of being able to use this again as being used. And once he performs a short rest, then this will come back. We can do it as well by just simply clicking on that. You'll see that the Wisdom DC is now correct as well. So that's probably it for level 2. Let's have another couple of levels. Now, another way you can actually level up is if you go into the class and level little data box here by clicking on the magnifying glass. You'll see this icon here. You can just drag and drop this and it'll add another level. As you can see, we're now at level 3. Some more stuff has been added in to Bob, basically just hit points and his dwarven toughness. And then if we do it again, it'll go up to level 4. This time we've got a new ability. We've got an ability score improvement has popped in. If we have a look at that, we can see that we can change some of our ability scores, either 1 by 2 points or 2 by 1 point. And to do that, we just go back to our main tab, click in the ability score that you want to edit, and just put in the new figure. So let's give Bob 18 wisdom. There is obviously the choice here of not doing that, but selecting a feat at 4th level. And if you wanted to do that, then you just open up the feats tab, find the feat that you want, and drag that into the abilities tab here. Now, some of these feats, when you drag them in, will automatically do things to the character sheet and automatically sort of do the thing that they're supposed to do. Like the alert feat, for example, will automatically add a 5-point bonus into initiative. But not all of them do. It's not possible to have effects for everything. Some of them you'll need to do some work yourself to create the effects for. But this is how you would add a feat if you so desired. So if we go back to our Actions tab, we can see now that Bob has got some 2nd level spell slots, so that means he can now learn some 2nd level spells as well. So the total number of spells he can cast now is 4, his level, plus of course he's now got an extra point in wisdom, so he can actually now learn 8 spells. So you would just again go to your spells and filter out, and you can choose between 1st or 2nd level. So let's give him a couple of 2nd level spells just for fun. And we just basically add them in, and once we drag them in, you'll see that they have gone into a 2nd level spell slot. It's created a new power group for the 2nd level spells, and if we just keep dragging in a few spells, whatever, and you can see that the wisdom saving throws, a lot of these effects are being set up, etc. And also we kind of missed it slightly, but at level 3, if we go into his war domain thing here, we can see that you actually got another 2 war domain spells. So again, we can find our war domain spells action tab, and we can just drag these in and drop them on the thing, and as you can see, it's created a new spell group, war domain spells level 2, and all of this is kept. If we go into this, it's kept this, it's replicated this wisdom and everything like that. So once you've set this this one up once, as we did at 1st level, it will always work. The 2nd level, and then later the 3rd and 5th and so on will all just add in here, and the correct information will be worked out for saving throws, etc. So just as a final illustration of things, let's make Bob level 5. Just drag in another one of these. So he's now level 5. A couple of more things have been added in, but importantly, if we go to the Actions tab and look at some of his cantrips, let's have a look at Sacred Flame, for example. If we have a read of that, we find that the spell's damage increases by 1d8 when you reach 5th level. So if we look at the effect that we've got for this at the moment, we're only doing 1d8 radiant damage. So we need to adjust this, because Fantasy Grounds doesn't automatically do it. So you need to go into the little magnifying glass. We've got 1d8 in there, so let's find another d8, drop it into the dice box, and we are now doing 2d8 radiant damage instead of 1d8. And another thing that can happen if we have a look at, say, Healing Word here, we can see that Bob can actually cast, this is a 1st level spell, but he can cast this spell using a slot of 2nd level or higher. So he now has 2nd level, and indeed he has 3rd level slots. So this means that he has the ability to cast this spell at higher level and heal a bit more than what he would do if it was just being used as a 1st level spell. So there's 2 ways we can achieve this. The first is if you wanted to heal somebody, normally you would target them and then just click this button here, and that would perform the appropriate heal. But if we wanted to use this as a 2nd level slot or a 3rd level slot, then we need more dice. We don't get the bonus, we don't get the +4 every time, we just get an extra dice. So one way we can do this is to grab the heal, and if we sort of hold down the left mouse button and grab the the damage or the heal here, you can see that a D4 has appeared. If we then right click, we can add a second dice to that, and that now means that we are now casting this as a second level spell. And if we wanted to cast it as a third level spell, we right click again, and we now have our 3 dice, which we can then just drop onto the target that we want to heal. Now that can be either on the combat tracker or on the token on the map. And whenever we're ready, we can just drop the dice. It doesn't do anything here, of course, because we haven't set that up, but it would automatically roll the dice and then heal the target appropriately. Now another way you can do it is just to add in a new line into this heal spell. So if we wanted to do that, we just right click over the healing word, go to add action and then add heal. Click our magnifying glass, drag in 2d4 into the thing, and then change the stat bonus to wisdom, and we now have 2d4 plus 4. And we can do the same again and just drag in 3d4, change the wisdom, and we'd get 3d4d4. So therefore we can do this for all the levels that we want, and this would apply to any spells which do damage or whatever that can be cast at a higher level slot. We just edit the spell, add a new line to the spell, or you can do the drag and drop method. Now you may also have noticed as we've gone through this that Bob's proficiency bonus was automatically updated to a +3, and this follows through the whole character sheet. You can see that Bob's now getting an extra +1 on his attack rolls. You can see that his saving throw DC has gone up. It's actually gone up by 2 points because we also increased his wisdom to 4, and his proficiency has gone up by another point. So that's gone from DC 13 to 15. And we can see also if we find a melee attack spell somewhere, that will also have, there we go, we've got a melee attack spell here, and that's also correctly worked out just simply by dragging and dropping the leveling up. So I think that's probably it for leveling up. It's just a question of whenever you add a new level is read your abilities, see whether or not anything needs to be done to change those abilities, check on spells that you've still got the right number of spells, add in new spells if you've got some new spell slots, then make sure that you've got the right amount of spells at the right level, and you may need to edit some of the spells to increase their damage or to be able to cast them with a higher level slot. So that's it. So thanks for watching this video, and if you watch them all the series, and we'll see you at some point in the future. Cheers for now.